What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. Here I am on floor 154, the Lost Temple, and we just finished up wave 5, so it's time to start building out for the Omega wave. Now, first things first, before I do anything, we're going to run through the map and sell off all of the anti-air. We don't need it. No reason to have it here. I do have a weapon manufacturer node up top. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do the right thing and get rid of that as well and get it replaced before we continue on anywhere here. So let's get our weapon man back down. Don't think we're going to be able to get all 3 nodes. Let's just go with 2 nodes, and that will free up a little bit more DU, but we just don't need that node up top. And then let's just clear out the absolute rest of it. Yeah, I had a flamar up top here that can go away. And then sky guards. All of this extra DU, we know that no air mobs are coming, so we might as well be prepared and be able to use all of the DU that is available. Alright, I think that is it for the anti-air, so let's take a look right here, starting off on this first lane. It was a Sigard Whomper lane, now it's going to be 3 Tuskars with Pain Aura and Unstoppable. Now we see that it's immune to slow, and no point in having this Frostbite Tower here at all. Actually, there was no point in having it there the entire match, come to think of it. Now I believe Tuskar can get a little uppity and walk through things, so I think what I'm going to do here is throw down a wall. And then I've got my Lightning Strike auras set up for, essentially for mini-boss killing. I've got anti-mini-boss, anti-melee, and anti-chaos servo. Now, with the combination of these 3, with Frosty in the mix as well, which I'm not going to have here, a Lightning Strike aura can do just absurd amounts of damage to a mini-boss. We're talking like 10, 15 million per tick, going up to like 20 million crits. So let's just throw some Lightning Strike auras down. We've got 2 LSAs that are going to be right here at the wall if these guys make it all the way to the wall, which I'm sure they're probably going to. I'm going to make sure the rest of these LSAs have a couple of upgrades on them, and I think we're going to be pretty good. Now let's move on over here. We've got some Nash Lady Orcs. Now we know with Nash, that Frostbite's not going to do any good either, as Nash is going to be immune to slow. So let's go ahead and do the same thing here and set up a wall for Nash to beat on. And then let's just lace it all the way down the lane with more of those Lightning Strike auras. Now Nash, of course, is also a Chaos enemy, so I'm going to be getting the bonus from anti-melee, anti-mini-boss, and anti-chaos all together. Let's go ahead and throw a couple of upgrades on these LSAs. Looking good. Now here we've got 3 Yetis. Now, Yetis can, of course, be a huge pain in the butt. I've got 2 cannonballs back here to handle that Spellbreaker, with where the Yetis are going to take increased physical damage. However, I think this area is where I personally am going to get involved as a player. Now, I do have the extra DU, and of course Yetis are frost mobs, so they're taking double damage from fire, so it would only make sense to throw a few more fire defenses in the mix here. So I'm going to go with a few more fissures and a flame aura right out of the gates. Another Lightning Strike aura just for that anti-mini-boss, and then level up some of these fissures. Now I've got a high roller lane, which is basically a free lane. This one was already set up to CC all of the rollers back here before they can make it to the core. So I am just going to leave it like that with those weapon manufacturers and handle those rollers as they come out. Now, of course, there was like 5 or 6 rollers the last wave. Now there's only 3. So a high roller lane, once you get into the mega lanes or the omega waves, is actually easier than the regular waves that we're running. Alright, and then here we've got a triple in the middle, and that's another reason why I wanted to stay over at this side, as we're going to have lots of bosses coming out. We've got Dreadbones, we've got some Shieldies, and we've got some Thorks. However, we've also got just a ton of defenses all loaded up here ready to go. So I'm going to leave this area as it is. However, I am going to throw a few upgrades on these Lightning Strike auras. And in addition to that, well, you know what? I'm not going to put another Frosty down. I thought maybe I would add another Frosty, but I think I'll just let those PDTs do their thing. And up top, we've got Shieldies on a Bullet Sponge lane. So let's go up and take a look at it. Now, I think one of the easiest things to do here is going to be to just wall it off. So let's just go ahead and wall it off, and we'll let these Shieldies sit here inside of this Fisher Lightning Strike Aura, Poison Dart Tower, and of course Frosty blasting them the entire time. However, well, I'm actually already up, so let's just leave that one alone as it is. See, now I'm completely out of DU, so I'm going to have to sell something to place something else. Here, however, we do have some Hex Thrower bosses. These should just get destroyed right here. They're a little bit squishier than some of the other bosses in this lane. Shouldn't be a problem. And then here we've got Cannon Ogres. Cannon Ogres, of course, can be the real deal. As long as they don't take any shots at the core there, we should be okay, though. So I'm going to leave this alone. However, I'm going to jack this one Lightning Strike Aura all the way up to tier 5. That way I can get those big crits combined with Frosty Power. Over here we have got Spellbreaker Hex Throwers, so they're going to take increased physical damage. We're going to let these cannonballs do their thing here, and we do have some crowd control through the stun from these weapon manufacturers and these proton beams. So this lane I'm going to leave alone as well. And then over here we've got Ogres and Tuskar. Now this lane could definitely be an issue, and I'm going to want to keep an eye on it, as we don't have a whole lot of power here. However, I'm going to dump everything I can into that one last Lightning Strike, and I'm pretty tempted, to be honest with you, to throw down a Frostbite as well, now that all the Frost mobs are gone. Of course, I didn't have Frosty over here before, just because there were so many Frost mobs. So I tell you what, let's do this. Let's get rid of 2 of these Fissures. And in place of those Fissures, going to add in 2 Frostbites. And that should put quite the hurting on this lane, and allow me just essentially just to power through it. So the Tuskars are going to get hit, the Ogres are going to get hit, all with the Frostbite, and that's going to make those other towers, of course, hit like an absolute truck. I'm tempted to move all of this up. You know what? Let's do it. Let's move it all up. I want to make sure these are getting hit right at the spawn. Let's do the same thing over here. Move it all forward. Okay, they're getting hit at the spawn, and we're 2 Poison Dart Towers light. Let's go ahead and throw those Poison Dart Towers back. And I do have diverse power on these Frostbites as well, so that's going to increase the effectiveness of Frosty Power by having another tower nearby there. And actually, I think we're good. We're going to leave it like that. Now, as I mentioned, I do want to stay focused on this water lane since it's a heavy lane. We've got rollers right next to it, and then, of course, Yetis right next to that. Let's go ahead and see how it goes here. Just going to stay putting a little damage on here, and I'm going to watch the Yetis. The Yetis are making a big push already. Yeah, I'm going to need to stay focused on these Yetis, no doubt. I'm probably going to get wrecked here by these rollers, it appears. As long as I can get the Yetis down, it's going to be okay. There's a Yeti making a push. Am I going to res in time? I do hope so. The Yeti does have a long walk, so that's nice. And there we go. Yeti down. So we got lucky with the cannons. We've got the rollers right here, tearing it up. And it looks like everything else got smashed up. So we're in good shape there. The rollers will stay here for days. So by all means, take your time on them and kill them last. And then we've got 1 stuck mob. Of course, there's always 1 stuck mob, so I'm going to have to deal with that. And I think Well, I think I'm not going to have another choice other than to sit here and blast at him. Do I have an EV in my deck? I do not. So I'm going to have to sit here and blast this guy down, sadly. Stuck mobs, of course, are part of the game. But, as you see, we've got a good game here on this floor 154 Omega Wave. And just this one last roller to burn down. So I won't bore you all with that. But thank you all very much for watching. Remember, when you're doing Omega Waves, if you need to or if you feel necessary, don't hesitate to rebuild the entire lane. Sell everything in the lane and throw down the towers that you feel are going to be the best single target towers to help you out with the bosses. So lightning strike Rs are going to be really strong, cannonballs are going to be really strong. Those hard hitting single target defenses are going to get you through all of these Omega Waves. So thank you once again. Click that like button, please subscribe, and I will be back soon with more Dungeon Defenders 2. Take it easy.